What a way to end your evening. You get to go live with this beautiful face. I'm indoors, but still thawing out. Don't want to take my jacket off. So, congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes, my pick to win the game, by the way. What a way to close it out. I mean, you go and beat Tennessee, beat Oregon, you beat to beat Notre Dame the way that they did too, that game, really the score, it's going to look a lot closer on paper than it really was because at no point do I think, other than after the first drive, that Notre Dame was in control in that game. And you have to give a lot of credit to Marcus Freeman. He's done a hell of a lot for that program, but it was OSU's night all the way. And they went in there, had a tough first drive, like I just said, but after that, just they applied the pressure, and I was about to turn it off when it was 31-7. I was out during the whole game, but yeah, that's all she wrote for the 2024 college football season. Man, that last deep ball, that was so pretty. I did see that, and Will Howard, class all the way, with this team, even though I'm not a Buckeyes fan. In fact, Ohio State's they're an unofficial rival of my team, of the Miami Hurricanes, but I'm doing this damn thing late. What's up, everybody? Yeah, so let me know who you think is going to get it done next year. Ryan Day made history as an Ohio State coach to join the likes of Jim Tressel, Woody Hayes, Urban Meyer. Where do they go? Because, Ohio State and Notre Dame, they're both young teams. And I really think if they keep enough players, if Ohio State is able to start the year fast next season, depending on what their schedule is, if they can get on a roll early, I don't see Ohio State being out of. I think they could stay in the top 5 all season, which is huge for them because Ohio State, they kind of fell off for a little while there. Michigan. I wonder, God, how do you think Jim Harbaugh feels right now to be one and done with the Chargers, and then you go in there in your first season and you lose like that to the Texans, and Ryan Day wins a national title. It's just, but I think Ohio State in their conference, I didn't see anybody coming close to them this year. And that Michigan game was totally a fluke because they just, I had a feeling that they were gonna go far in the playoffs for some reason. I didn't think they were gonna win the national title, but I did pick the Buckeyes to win this game, so you're damn right I'm happy about that. Sucks for Notre Dame because, when you're building a program and you also have a young coach, it's added pressure, but he handled it gracefully, and they were trying to push the whole he's this and that, he's Asian, he's a black coach, and that's expected with the culture we have today. But he was about the team, and that's why you're down 31-7. You saw them still in the game in the fourth quarter, 31-23. And Notre Dame had to play. I think just as tough a schedule as Ohio State. Maybe like one game separated them from the from where each team was at the end of the season. I'd say, yeah, actually, I think Ohio State had thinking about it off the top of my head, they had the tougher schedule. But hello, Charlie. Hello, Scott. Charlie, you're in my closet along with Tom Cruise. Sounds like not in my walls, but if you're in the walls, when they were built on this complex, my neighbor, who is actually the maintenance man here, lost a quarter in there, so please retrieve it. Oh, Lord have mercy. So, I want to know right now, chat, do you think that either one of these teams is going to make it to the national championship next year? And I don't know about contracts, but do you think that both of these coaches, who's going to be with their program longer, Ryan Day or Marcus Freeman? I think it's going to be, I see it being Marcus Freeman. Honestly, I think Ryan Day, I mean, you have so much pressure on your shoulders when you coach a team like Ohio State, but damn it if that guy did not respond. He was getting a bad rap for losing to Michigan, and Ohio State had been bridesmaids for a little while. What do you have to say now? I mean, you have an offensive lineman who was a fan of that team for God knows how long, since he was a baby. And to see him winning the title, to see them just out, all those guys telling their stories. I never expected Ohio State about a month ago to be in this position. Just I got to know a lot about this team tonight because they were I kept waiting for the rug to be pulled, and even though I picked Ohio State, it was just because of the name, and in big games I am not confident about Notre Dame, but I thought Notre Dame deep down, I thought it was destiny. So apparently not. I'm just ranting because I plan to do a live, and that was going to be tomorrow, actually, for reacting to the NFL games yesterday, because I did an Instagram live, which I will be doing a playback of that. Make sure to tune into my YouTube tomorrow. That's going to be at 11:30 a.m. Going over the picks I made for that slew of games, which now we know the NFC Championship will be the Washington Commanders, my team, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Sorry to all Eagles fans that you had to come up one game short of the Super Bowl. And the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Oh my God. I don't know which game to be more hyped about, but yeah, it's going to be crazy. And yes, I picked Ohio State to win that game. I said 34-31. I was that close. Damn it. I wanted some money. No, but congratulations to the Buckeyes. I have a buddy who I know is definitely thrilled right now. Most diehard Buckeyes fans I've ever seen. I've watched a national championship with this guy before when Ohio State was not playing, and I mean, I thought for sure that by the end of the night, one of those brothers was going to be catching a bow or catching a slap in the face. Yeah, what's up, chat? Antarctica. Ooh, so there is somewhere colder than the East Coast right now in the chat. But yeah, I picked it to be 34-31. So where do you see their quarterbacks landing in the draft? Because when they go to the NFL, I don't know if we're going to have a ton of quarterbacks in this next draft. Obviously, the biggest name going into it is Shador Sanders, which, I mean, everybody's expecting him to go to New York. I like that. I think that's going to be adding a lot to the NFC East, which, I mean, it looked like for a while there it was going to be Philly's division. For a while there it was the Cowboys, before Jalen Hurts got there. Now, I mean, the to see Dallas be in the position they're in. I mean, even the Cowboys have been bad for many decades now, but to think that they got even worse this past season, I mean, it was hard to watch. And they beat my team earlier in the year when the Commanders lost to them off of that missed extra point. I was like, well, we're done for the season and we're even worse than Dallas. It can't end like this. I never expected them to go to the NFC Championship game, but I mean, Dallas, if you're them, what do you do? Is it a Mike McCarthy thing? Is it they need to just rebuild altogether? Has it been that Dak has just been there for too long? I don't think it's Dak Prescott's fault. I'm not a fan of ownership. That's what it is. Who is too? Who is a fan of Jerry Jones at this point? I mean, look what happened to the Commanders when they got new ownership. The whole throw tons of money at him. I'm going to go after Dion. I'm going to go after Charles Haley. That stuff has been dead for so long. Jerry Jones is the problem, and he's been the problem with that team. It seems like Texas boys lately are taking L's. First you had Jerry Jones having the abysmal season that he had. Now the Skip Bayless story. I'm joking, but not about Jerry Jones. He needs to get rid of himself, and Dallas can heal after that. Because I like it more when the Cowboys are competitive, but they're not going to be while he's there. Say what you want about Mike McCarthy. I do think he mishandled Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he's the guy that they need right now because they need a culture change, but Jerry Jones is by far the biggest issue for that team. It's... Who knows? But Dallas is not the team they once were, and even when they had Tony Romo, I always expected them to fall down. And that one year where Dez caught that pass, he did catch that pass. No way that they were going to beat the Seahawks. There's no way on this planet that season they would have played 100 times out of 100. I don't think they would have won one time. This is called the POSTGAME Podcast. It's a sports show that I do. Make sure to hit the subscribe button in the corner if you like what you are hearing. I'm just talking sports. I'm just an average but beautiful bearded man ranting about his favorite team and other teams. But yeah, guys, I don't know. Where do we go? Where do we go now? Guns N' Roses. I was watching a compilation of Axl Rose's best moments yesterday. That man walked so Kid Rock and Eminem could run in their prime. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say, guys. I want to know your picks for next year. Who's going to get the get a national title in the 2025 season. I mean, I like Ohio State to at least get back to the championship game. Why not? Because I don't see any teams that are going to be. I gave Oregon too much credit, I think, this season, and they don't really have a lot of teams that are tough to play in that conference, at least right now. Notre Dame, I believe in their coaching, even if they don't have the right talent. I think they have the right leadership, and I expect them to be competitive again next year. Miami, with the addition of Carson Beck, is going to make it. I mean, if Miami does not come away with, and you're hearing this from a Miami fan, if they do not come away with at least an ACC championship next year, they need to put themselves on a block of ice. And like that South Park episode, cut it out, send it to sea. That's it. Yeah. I'm just making my predictions for who's going to be the best next year. Tennessee, I expect them to. That's my wild pick. It's blowing everybody's minds. When they go back and watch this, they're not going to go back and watch this. But in the off chance you do, you heard it right here. Tennessee is going to do better than Alabama next year. Georgia, I hate to say it, but I think Georgia's dominant reign in the SEC is over. I'm picking Texas with Arch. I think they're going to definitely win a playoff game next year, but I don't know if he's ready for prime time yet, so we'll see. Maybe he rises up and performs under the bright lights. Yeah, guys, I reacted to some UFC yesterday on the POSTGAME podcast, my Instagram live edition. Like I said, tomorrow at 11:30 a.m., I'm going to be doing a playback of that on YouTube for y'all. This was just the last second live I wanted to do for the conclusion of the college football national championship. Congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm deeply sorry for people in Michigan right now. Not only is it Michigan freezing, but the Lions also lost over the weekend. Gotta rock with the Commanders, man. They're my team. I'm picking them to beat Philly. And sucks because even though I think Josh Allen will win the MVP, they're going to lose to the Chiefs. So that's my Super Bowl pick. Two teams with similar uniforms. Should make for an interesting matchup because that's all it's about today is the fashion sense, and they're going to be fighting over who looks better in the white, red, and yellow colors. Well, actually, close. Burgundy for the Commanders. I guess they could still refer to themselves as the burgundy and gold, even though they have a different name, but this is the post-game podcast, guys. Thanks for joining me. Love doing these last-minute lives because it challenges me to rant well and helps me with my stand-up. If you ever want to come see me do a show, I'm about to be dropping some new dates soon. I took a year off from performing, but I've done stand-up since 2017, and I'm actually getting back to producing my own shows this year for the first time in 5 years. So look out for Our Apologies Comedy. That's HOUR Apologies Comedy. Looking forward to it, my friends. And make sure to subscribe to the Postgame Podcast. That's at Postgame Podcast Official. I am at the Wildcard Comedy. Steve is Fokker out. Ohio State, I still don't like you. But congrats once again. How do I stop this thing? What else can I say before I finally turn this off? Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See a doctor. Get rid of it.